Hey, welcome back to the channel, you guys. I hope everybody's having a good day. It's Sunday. It's April the 3rd. I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. I watched the movie. It's been about 4 weeks ago. It was called The Weekend Away. And I love this movie. I really did. I love when I watch a movie that is just, it's about this girl. It's called The Weekend Away. And it's about this girl. I'll read the plot synopsis. A luxe apartment, lavish meals, boardwalk views. It's a perfect weekend escape until a best friend goes missing and her reality becomes to unravel. Woo, Lord. You know, I was watching this movie and I was sitting there going, it's crazy when I look at a movie and I keep looking at it and I keep looking at it and go, what in the world? And here's what I like about this movie. It deals with two chicks having a weekend together, right? The girl's married and she's married, she has a baby, but she's been having some issues with this dude. So she goes off with her friend that she's been friends with for a while. And her friend wants to party and have a weekend out, but she kind of like don't want to do with some of the stuff that she was doing. So then she goes out with her friend, and her boyfriend at the meantime is FaceTiming her on her phone. And he's watching a little kid. But you got granted, they had some issues. Well, then when she gets there, she meets this cab driver that's from Syria. Now, we all know Syria is having a lot of issues with, their country is going through a lot. So, he's from Syria. So, when I first watched it, automatically I thought, oh, man, there's something about this guy. So, he could tell that she was from not there. So, he's trying to help her out. So, every time she needed to call cab, he would come there and help her out, which I thought was a bit strange. But he turned out to be all right. But then they go out and party, and this girl tries to talk her into going out with these two guys what they do is they go and they have these tourist girls that come in, and most people goes to different places like that. They want to party and nobody knows what they're doing. So you ever heard that what goes on in so-and-so stays in so-and-so? Like sometimes you might have somebody you're in love with, but they might have done something in a different state. While you at home, you ain't gonna never find out because, you can say something like, you can went to Germany, says, what we did in Germany stays in Germany. You can come back and kiss your boyfriend or your girlfriend and they never know you did something. You might have had a one-night affair. They're not gonna tell you. You're never gonna know, It's just something they did. They just keeping it to themselves. They're going to go ahead and marry you, pop out a couple of kids or whatever. But, it's because it's just they did something that you just ain't supposed to never know. But anyway, her friend at first I didn't like her friend. And I was like, she is wild. She's trying. But then again, I felt like she was trying to warn her. Well, she was trying to warn her. And then they go out with these two guys. She thought she got drugged, and which she did, and then when she wakes up, she can't find her friend. Her friend's totally disappeared. And then she goes to the police over there, and this is based on books, and it's a thriller. It's thriller movies. That's what it's based on. But I think they were over in Italy somewhere or something like that. But she goes over there, and then she talks to this guy, and this guy, he kind of doesn't take her serious because over there, everybody comes over there and they party and girls just go missing. They have wild nights out. They get drunk. They have sex with random guys and then they go back to wherever country they're from. But he didn't take her serious. But this woman walked in and she said, she was over this guy. Well, come find out there was something shady about this guy as well. So, anyway, so then the guy that was the cab guy that was a Syrian guy, he tried to track down these two guys, and when he tracked them down, those guys said that they were paid to chaperone those two. And then, so anyway, somehow she ends up going. So yeah, they found the girl and she died. She was murdered. And then they brought her to the station and she looked at her body and she was all upset and stuff. So I'm thinking that the Syrian guy had something to do with it. But what's neat about this is I kept trying to figure things out. That's the best way I can. Remember, you guys, this is not a review. This is me just giving you off what I was thinking. So, this Syrian guy lost somebody that he loved, and she got a rocky relationship, but then she ended up finding a film where, see, her girlfriend had those two guys she was knocked out. And so those two guys took her and put her in the bed. But she didn't know if they had sex with her or not. You know another thing I like about this? You didn't see no naked boobs, no butt cracks, no nothing. You didn't see any of that crap. And even though I like women's body and all that stuff, sometimes I watch a show and I go, why did they put that in there? They just had to show a woman taking off her clothes and soap running down her stomach. It has nothing to do with the movie. Period. Just because they had to throw that in there. They did not throw that in this. And I love women. God only knows how much I love women. But anyway, they didn't have any of that in there. It shows scenes of her kind of bare, but not like that. So anyway, she wakes up and then she looks at a film. She finds out that, and then the guy that owns this place, he was filming everything because she was trying to figure out who murdered her friend. And this guy, he was telling her she has to get out because he's kind of like the realtor of this building, or he owns it and stuff. So he says, well, you can stay in a place down in this basement that he had. It was all decked out, so she stayed there. But then she come find out that he was filming everything. So then she thought that he had something to do with it. But then when she looked at his film, when he went outside, she looked at his film and seen that that girl woke up and seen that those two guys ripped her off. And then she got in the cab and then she went to the police department. Then when she came back, the guy that was not taking her serious was one of those police guys that dropped her off. So then she goes to the woman that was over him and she tells him. Or then somehow they end up thinking that she murdered them. So she was running from him and the Syrian guy was helping her run from him. Well, then that guy that she knew that her friend was with last, because she seen the film when he rolled up and dropped her off. Well, come find out, he had been under investigation through his police department over in that country. I don't know if it's Ilya, but it was one of those real pretty places. And he was on probation, and the woman that was over him said that he had made a lot of advancements towards women. He got lucky and sometimes he didn't, and that's what he did. And so he tried to make passes at that girl, and that girl turned him down. So they thought that he killed him. But then when he tried to approach her, you know, he was on this ledge and he fell to his death. So that was it, you know. They thought that he was the one that killed that girl. No, he didn't kill that girl. I was watching this, I was like, holy crap. So then when she died, she had this, I don't know, some kind of pendant in her hand that was connected to her friend. Well, when she went back to her husband, you know, her husband and hers been having some issues. And come find out, her husband had an affair with her friend. And he actually liked her more than he liked his wife. And he had that little child. But when she come back, she started piecing things together because something fell out of his coat. And then she confronted him. And then he ended up saying that he killed her. He had enough time to go there, and he met that girl. And that girl told him, she goes, I'm going to tell, because her and that girl was best friends. And she told her husband, she said straight out, she goes, I'm going to tell her what we did. And he goes, you can't tell her what we did. And she said, and besides, that night that we had sex, she goes, that was a rebound. No more, no less. And man, he lost it. Man, he smacked her and knocked her in the water, and she was still alive and she was gurgling. And then at the end, it showed how she pieced that together. And then he was like, you can't leave me, you can't do me, we got our daughter and stuff. He's trying to tell her, and she kind of, I think she kicked him in his crotch and knocked him down, grabbed her kid, and then she called the woman that wrapped up the case, that the guy that was the police guy that got killed, they thought that he killed the girl, and then she told her that who the real killer was, which was her husband. Anyway, you guys, I've been ranting and raving about this. This is just I've been wanting to talk about this one for a while, but this one was really good. This one's really good. The Weekend Away. Very, very good. It's very clean. You don't have no nothing. It's just a good, wholesome, whodunit kind of movie. Follow the breadcrumbs, trying to figure stuff out. Oh, I love it. I love it. I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. So anyway, God bless. Take care. Stay safe out there. And we'll catch you in the next video. We'll see you.